My name's Paul Wallace. I'm a private professional trader and also a mentor and coach to other traders. I've been trading now since the late 90s, so it's getting towards probably about 15 years in total. I started trading during the dot-com boom at probably 98, 99. It was born out of interest that I had during the 90s. I used to be a battle manager in the Royal Air Force, and there were a couple of the banks in the city were looking to take guys and girls doing my job in the Air Force and get them to be traders on the floors in the banks in the city. And that kind of piqued my interest at the time. I kind of liked the idea of that challenge, but at that time I was under contract to the Air Force. I ended up sort of working in the city in the late 90s during during the dot-com boom, but which brought me into contact with lots of the kind of fund managers and some of the traders and some of the banks and stuff working around there, and I was left a little bit underwhelmed by what I sort of saw, and I thought to myself, well, if you can't join them, then beat them. So I started trading shares in internet stocks. I was working in the internet and telecoms at that time. It was a real boom time, and I was able to profit well. But I'm the first to admit, as Warren Buffett says, I think it's a rising tide floats all boats. It was a real roaring bull market in internet stocks at that time, and I was very fortunate. I think my luck sort of ran to basically, I kind of got out about a week before the market crashed in about, I think it was about February 2000 now, so sort of ended there. So it was, I managed to get out a week beforehand before it crashed. So, but I'm the first to admit that was all pure luck. Pure luck. I tell the story that I used to sit in my job, and I used to sit next to she was the secretary to the marketing director at the company I worked at, and she used to start leaning across and giving me share tips about what I should buy and what I should sell and stuff. And I was just, if I'm honest, I was like, this is madness. I got the fear, and so I closed all my positions down. Market went up for about a week after that. I thought I'd made a terrible mistake, and then it actually crashed, and it never came back. So it was luck. There was no great analysis on my side. I'm the first to admit that it was pure. I was just very lucky. But then that kind of the bug had been, the bug had caught me by then. I started to get interested in financial markets. Really loved the kind of the sort of autonomy that trading would give me. And over the time, I started to basically move towards trading foreign exchange primarily. Moved across there, and then started working with trading funds for myself, managing funds for people, and then working for a fund for a small time as well. And then about 6-7 years ago, people just started to come to me to ask for help with their own trading. People were struggling, not getting the results they wanted, and so out of that, I kind of developed a kind of a sort of a trader support practice that basically just helps turnaround traders who are maybe experiencing a little bit of a slump in their own performance. So now I trade for myself, manage my own funds, and then also coach and mentor traders from the complete beginner up to guys and girls who are working at prop shops and tier one banks running $200 million books and stuff. So I've had the opportunity to work with a vast array of traders. So when I went to the city, why was I underwhelmed by what I saw? It's a case of that. I think it was just I had maybe expectations that they would be better than they were, and actually I just realised that it was kind of some of the individuals who were operating as fund managers and traders were there for the wrong reasons, or had achieved their kind of position for the wrong reasons, and I realised that most people they complain about bankers and traders and fund managers and such, but they won't actually do anything about it. They pour their money into into a pension fund or an ISA or an investment fund of some sort, and then when they don't get the returns they want, they just complain and moan, and I realised that actually that was one route, or the other route was, as I said, if you can't join them, beat them, and it was just, this was at the start of the kind of, the internet was just, the end of the 90s, it was just starting to explode there, and so the opportunity to actually to manage your own kind of like financial affairs, to manage your own kind of fund, your own pension in a sense. So that was all starting to come online, and I, as I said, I started interested, and I fancied the challenge of doing it myself. So I think I'd read somewhere that I could be wrong, but I think it was something like 9 out of 10 pension fund managers fail to beat the FTSE average, and I just thought, well, if 9 out of 10 of these so-called professionals can't do it, then why am I giving my money to them? Why don't I do it myself? And so it started.